This walkthrough takes you through everything you need to know about using Bramble as a student. Now, before you start, all you need to connect to Bramble is a computer, a working microphone. We always recommend using headphones if you can, as this is a great way to cut out any background noise, and the Google Chrome browser. Now, the only exception to this is if you're using an iPad or iPhone, make sure you're using Safari, but with everything else, use Google Chrome. You can join your first session by signing into your My Bramble account and going to your schedule page. Just click Join Session and you'll be taken directly to your Bramble room, which is where you'll eventually connect with your tutor. But before that, you'll be asked to test your speakers just to check everything is up and running as it should be. Simply click on the animal noise you can hear to join with voice. You can also choose to join without voice at this stage. Now, you'd only do this when you're entering the room to work alone or if you're joining with a second device. But in this case, I want to join with voice and I can hear a cat meowing, so I'll click on the cat picture to be taken through to the next stage. You'll then be asked to check your microphone. Now, you can check your microphone and camera are allowed by clicking on the mic icon here or in the padlock on your address bar. You can see the mic is working as this middle circle will illuminate when you make noise. Once you've clicked Get Started, you'll be loaded into your room. Now you'll be faced with the first page of your notebook. Think of your notebook like a stack of papers you'd work on with your tutor in person. So you can move pages using the forward and backward arrows, and any work you do on the page can be seen immediately in real time by everyone else in the room with you. This should mean your lesson flows seamlessly, exactly how it would as if you were in person. Now, what we've tried to do at Bramble is give you access to the same tools as you would have offline, whilst keeping everything very simple and fast. So first of all, let's have a look at how you can get resources into your room. Now, there are a few ways you can do this. But first of all, you can upload something by clicking on this icon in your toolbar and choosing From Device. You can then choose what you want to share and it will immediately be brought into the shared notebook. You can upload any PDF or image file to Bramble, like this cell diagram here. You can also drag and drop work straight from the file on your computer onto the Bramble page, and you can choose resources from previous sessions you've already used. And you can also just copy and paste directly from the web or take screenshots. Now, I highly recommend you take a look at our screenshotting video to learn how to do that if you don't already. Okay, so let's go back to that cell diagram. Now, if your tutor wanted you to annotate it, you can use this pen tool here. So you can see I've already got the pen selected, so I can circle the mitochondrion. Now, if I click on that pen, it will turn into an eraser, so I can rub that circle out. And then if I click on it once more, it will turn to text, so I can add a text label. Then I can click on it again to draw an arrow. Now, next to the pen icon, we've got the color droplet, which works in much the same way. You just cycle through the different colors and we have 4 available for you there. Now, jumping over to the other side of the toolbar, we've got undo and redo, which do exactly what they say on the tin. With the combination of all these simple functions, you'll be able to actively engage in your online session without passively just watching a screen. So let's take a look at the last few tools. Here we've got your webcam and snapshot function. Now, if I click it once, it gives me my options. If I want to take a snapshot, I just hold my work up to the camera, get it in line, and then take a picture and it will be uploaded straight onto the page. This is great if you want to share any physical work that you've done outside of your online device. Now, you can also use webcam. You and your tutor can use webcam as much or as little as you want. Some tutors like to use it at the beginning and end of the session to say hi and bye. Other tutors and students like to focus completely on the notebook. Finally, over here we have the export button. Now, this clears the notebook and sends everybody present in the room a PDF copy of the saved work. Now, if you click on this question mark over here, you can see the lesson information. So you can see when the lesson started and how long it's been going on for. You can see who is in the lesson with you and how many pages your notebook holds. Now, we recommend keeping your notebook below 100 pages, so do make sure you or your tutor uses that export button to keep your notebook pages down. Once your session is finished, it will automatically be stored on the Sessions page of your My Bramble account. Each card you see here represents a single session and shows you the lesson information, including the date, time, session number, and email address of each participant. The synopsis you see here is generated according to the most discussed term in the session. So it means at a glance you can see what that particular session was about and what was discussed, and it also reminds you of the extensive content you have learned. Now, our new smart technology should automatically assign your session a subject, but you can also choose your own here or change it if you need to. Now, if you just want to see the visual material of a lesson, so say for example this English literature session down here, you can view and download a PDF copy of the work covered just by clicking on the little PDF icon. It will then open up for you in a new tab. You can play back a full recording by clicking on the play button here, and the recording will start from as soon as the second voice has joined and your lesson begins. Postmodernist literature contains a broad range of concepts and ideas that include responses to modernism, so what we saw in the last slide, responses to technological advances. Obviously, this was starting to happen around the 60s, which is when postmodernist literature came. We've introduced smart playback, which is symbolised by this brain icon. When enabled, it detects any silences and pauses in recordings and skips through them without missing any of the content on screen. You can click on it again to disable it if you so wish, and you can also speed up and slow down the recorded voice. Lesson recordings are a great addition to your learning experience, but they're not enough on their own. Realistically, how likely is it that you're going to go back and listen to all your lessons again all the way through? So we needed to find a way of interrogating these recordings to find the specific concepts that want to be reviewed at any given point. Now this is where Bramble's smart search technology comes in. So you can do this by heading to your library page and typing in a search term to find out how many times a given concept has been discussed with you and your tutor in your sessions. On the right-hand side, you can see the modality of what you're searching across. So you can choose to search within spoken word, typed text, shared resources, or all three. Guided autocomplete makes it easy for you to explore and find different concepts. You can either click on the highlighted section of the lesson you want to listen back to, or you can choose a specific resource relating to that subject. Clicking on a result jumps straight into the recordings at the perfect point of that topic being discussed.
So there's a part in the cell called the ribosome that the protein is made. So in order for the DNA to get from the nucleus to the ribosome, it has to transport. The way it does that, the way the cell does that is by turning DNA into RNA, and then the ribosome comes along and reads the RNA.
If you want to find out more information about how to use Bramble, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch our more specific walkthrough videos there. You can also go to our help centre at bramble.io.